Well, I used to be a part of the blue bubble. I was 100% a left-leaning person who lived in Los Angeles.
That's Joe Rogan talking about his moment of awakening and why he no longer considers himself a liberal. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish. Today we're taking a few minutes to break down a clip of Joe Rogan telling Bobby Lee why he's done with the left and whether or not that's a good or bad thing for the right.
Time. This is what we're seeing. So over time, you and I, who used to be on the left, are now like, where's the left? Where are you guys? You guys are so far away. I can't even see you. You're out of your mind. You're chopping dicks off and giving little kids hormone blockers. You have no idea what the long-term consequences are. You're ignoring the health risks. You won't even talk about the health risks. You use things like gender-affirming care. What are you saying? What are you saying when you're talking about children? Why are you just accepting this? Because it's a noble thing to blurt out, so everybody goes, you're on the right team. That's what it is. It's not like, oh my God, what are we doing to kids? It's not like, oh my God, what are we doing to San Francisco? It's not like, oh my God, why are we letting these violent criminals out of jail? It's like, oh my God, why are we defunding the police? What are you doing? You can't say any of those things. Well, I used to be a part of the blue bubble. I was 100% a left-leaning person who lived in Los Angeles. I was 100%. I never voted Republican my whole life. I was very left-leaning, especially with like any social issues. When it comes to financial things, I'm a little bit more conservative, but at the end of the day, I'm way more left than I am right. But California went nuts, man. It's gone like full communist. It's out of its mind. And their approach to law enforcement is so insane. It's so insane. The no cash bail, the letting people out for committing violent crimes, the not stopping people for stealing up to whatever money it is. What is it, $900 now? I think they raised it. I think they made it a little higher. San Francisco is non-existent. Most of San Francisco is emptied out of like big chain stores and big department stores.
I won't even do stand-up there anymore.
It's crazy.
They ruined it.
They ruined the city. I mean, you can bring it back. The structure's still there. But you'd have to have some hardcore Rudy Giuliani type motherfucker come in there and knock heads.
Wow.
And nobody wants that.
I'm in the middle now.
I'm in the middle.
I never thought I would ever say that.
Never.
It only happened in this last year.
Right. Exactly.
I just went, I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? People that you thought were aligned with you are like now like mad at you about
They're in a cult. It's got all, I mean, Mark Andreessen, who's a brilliant venture capitalist guy, explained it to me in very clear terms. Like what the definition of a cult is, how you can get excommunicated, how you get shamed for having differing opinions, the group think, he's like, it's a cult. And he's right. He's 100% right. It's just hard to say because then people in the cult will attack you. But they're not attacking you for a reasonable, it's not logical, like the way they're attacking you. They're attacking like someone attacks religious beliefs. And some of these religious beliefs, it gets into these weird gray areas, like trans people in women's bathrooms. Like, says who? Says who? How do you know that's a real trans person? How do you not know that's a creep that don't want to pull his dick out in front of kids? Because those are real.
We spa.
And if that guy was a convicted sex offender. And he was doing that. Look, those guys are real. It doesn't mean trans people aren't real also, but those guys are real. And to even say that those guys are real, you get excommunicated.
Now, look, is it good that more people are waking up to the insanity of the left? Sure. Is it good that Joe Rogan turned a corner and is using his platform to speak out against this kind of stuff? Absolutely. Everything he said was 100% true, and I hope he brings more people to the right. But we need to stop being so reactionary, and we need to stop playing defense. We've almost passed a comical number of points of no return from liberals, and it doesn't really seem to be doing much. It's taken Joe Rogan 15 years of talking to prominent conservatives and being vilified by the left to just now come around? And I bet if you sat down with them and had a chat, you would still disagree with them about 75% of the issues. The problem isn't that the left has gone too far. The problem is that going too far is the inevitable conclusion of the left. It's a fundamental principle. It's baked in the cake. It can never be static. It always has to be moving. And it doesn't care if it's headed to open pastures or a wood chipper. It's the defining characteristic of progressives, and it creates a trap for conservatives because they'll engage with these ideas in good faith. And if the basic values of a society are up for discussion, they're already lost. I mean, look at some of the things we're having serious debates about. All the things Joe mentioned in the podcast. The books in schools. Who's reading to kids in the library? Harmful medical procedures on children. He's right. It's insanity. And it's fantastic that people are finally waking up. But we need to understand that to have these types of debates is to lose them. You know, a lot of conservatives today look like liberals from 20 years ago because they didn't understand this. And we on the right need to have core values that are unassailable and not up for discussion or debate. I mean, progressivism is basically the ideology of Western self-destruction at this point, and the sooner we realize that, the better. But with that being said, welcome to the club, Joe. I hope you bring all your friends. Now let's get to work. Was that a little too dour? Let me know what you think. Have we crossed the Rubicon? Is it too late for these types? Was I being a Debbie Downer? How would you address the situation we're in? Let me know in the comments. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Boy!